Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. It's always fun to work in customer service, until it's not. Imagine dealing with a customer who turns a simple request into an epic battle over Oreo cookies. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. A ridiculous customer with so many demands. Okay, I used to work at an online e-commerce where customers call you because they want to complain about a specific problem like lost deliveries, tracking order, etc. I have lots of customer stories, and here's one of the most ridiculous ones I'll ever share. So one day, it was before Black Friday sale last November, when I received a call from this woman who demanded me to go into her account. So yeah, I agreed. First demand, remove all the items in her cart. I did. To be honest, she can do it on her own, but for some reason she chose to waste her time calling us. And then she told me to pick up some Oreo Nabisco cookies. She specified which product, so the cost is $11.75 minus tax. When I told her the total, she freaked out. She said, cancel the order. Pick up some cookies for me, which cost less than $5. I replied, less than $5, got it. But the only thing I can see here are Oreo packs, which are smaller and not Nabisco. She contemplated for a moment and then she agreed. The total came to about $4.25 plus tax, which is $11.95. She freaked out once again. I told her the total. For the sake of easy understanding, I'll call demanding customer as DC and me as me. DC, I told you that my total should be less than $5. Why is it $11.95? Me, the total of your order comes in as $4.25 plus tax, which costs $11.95. DC, your website says free delivery. Why is it that there's tax on my order? Me, free delivery is only available for orders above $15. As your order is only $4.25, there's tax. She stopped for a moment, then proceeded with the checkout. She has a promo code, and when I entered it, it was expired. I told her that. There was a pause on the line. DC, okay, give me a promo code. Me, ma'am, as much as I would love to, company policy states that we can't give out promo codes. Promo codes are only issued once per order. At this point, I'm already so annoyed and angry, the call was already around 28 minutes at this point. When I checked her account, there were various complaints. There were her ridiculous demands, which previous representatives gave her promo codes, and there was one e-gift card issued by a supervisor when she demanded it. DC, fine, I have here a gift card. I muted my mic and sighed. Here we go again. So I just agreed. She gave me her gift card number, and when I entered it, it has zero balance. I told her that her gift card is at zero. DC, what? There's no way it has zero balance. I'm already clenching my fists in anger, but still I managed to keep my composure. Please, just check your cards to make sure you're not wasting our time and you're not wasting yours. Me. But this is what I see here on my screen. It has zero balance. Do you have another alternate mode of payment on this one? DC. I don't. My debit card only has $5 in it. I want you to remove the delivery fee on it. I placed her on hold. At this point, I'm so tired of dealing with her. Then, after 2 minutes of composing myself, taking in deep breath, released the hold. In the sweetest customer service voice, I said, "Thank you for patiently waiting in line, ma'am. I'm in your account and there's no option for me to remove the delivery fee. Note, you cannot remove any fees while inside a customer's account when you spoofed it, as I'm in the e-commerce website and not in our system. The customer must place first the order before I remove the delivery fee." DC, no, do something. I really need those cookies. Either you give me a promo code, a gift card, or remove the delivery fee. Me, ma'am, do you have any other alternate modes of payment? DC, no, I only have the gift card and the debit card. The debit card has only $5 and my gift card should have some money left in it. It's impossible to be zero. At this point, I'm tired and stressed. We have AHT, which means average handle time. My supervisor's been screaming at me to handle my time, but the customer won't let me off the line. So here's what I did. Me, Ma'am, I have first to place your order to remove the delivery fee. I know I cannot place said order because debit card has only $5. I know it's stupid, but that's the only way to end the call. DC. My debit card has only $5. Me. I understand, but don't worry, the delivery fee will be removed once we place said order on your debit card. DC. Okay, fine. It was a gamble on my part. I know it's stupid, but she totally believed it. Guess what? Debit card is beyond its limit. Payment transaction failed. Me. I apologize, but your payment transaction cannot be processed. Your debit card doesn't have sufficient funds to place this particular order. DC. Do something. I need those cookies. Me. One moment. Look, there's nothing I can do. It's your fault you don't have money when you call us wasting your time. I just said one moment, then type something. I just put my mic near the keyboard while I typed to make it sound like I was doing something for her. I wasn't talking, just the sound of my fingers hitting up random letters. I never talked, just typed nonsense until she gave up listening to the sounds of my keys. DC. You know what? Never mind. She hung up. The call ended at 42 minutes and 1 second. She wasted our time and she wasted hers. It was my worst customer that day. I hate her. 3 paragraphs in, this lady made me want to bang my head up against a wall. I can only imagine having to actually deal with her. And our second story. My project partner didn't do anything for the project, so I made sure he was held responsible for it. When I was in 7th grade, I was at a private school, and for a project for one of my classes, I got paired up with the worst person in my class. Over the weeks of the project, the PowerPoint presentation that we had shared with each other was only touched once by him, and all he did was create a new slide. Left it blank. I was pissed. For the first time ever, I absolutely refused to do all the work. My idiot of a partner thought I was doing all the work for him and smiled at me every time classes started, looking smug. He never even bothered to check the PowerPoint. Little did he know that I had already informed our teacher, and that teacher gave me his blessings to just present my part, and I'd be graded on that alone. The day to present came, and we were to present our projects to the entire school. Before the presentation started, he came up and asked if he could see the PowerPoint so he could prepare to speak his part. I just glared at him so hard he visibly paled and went back to his seat, where I continued to give him the stink eye the whole time until it was our time to present. Luckily, I was in charge of the first half of the PowerPoint, so I started things off. I knew I hit it out of the park based on how our teacher was nodding his head from the back of the room. At the end of my last time, I turned and looked at my partner who'd gone pale despite all his freckles. All right, insert partner name here. Ready to present your part? I didn't bother waiting for a response and just clicked the clicker. A blank slide showed up on the screen, exactly what he had contributed to the project, and then the PowerPoint ended. It took a few seconds for people to realize it was over, and there was the general hubbub of confusion. Finally, the principal stepped up and asked my partner what was going on. Mr. Freckles looked away and mumbled something about it being on a flash drive left upstairs in his backpack. He was allowed to leave the room to go retrieve it. I stood there in front of the whole school, smiling to myself for 10 minutes. The idiot still hadn't returned, so my teacher suggested we move on with the presentations. A couple of teachers left to go find my partner, who was quickly found hiding in a closet in one of the classrooms upstairs. I got a 98% on the project, and the idiot got a big fat 0. He ended up failing the class and had to redo the year. Before I left the private school and went back to public schools for high school, he had managed to get kicked out of the school program, and I never heard from him again. Edit. To clarify, I was a 13-year-old brat with autism and a very strong malicious streak. I held grudges like hell. But nowadays, I'm pretty much over it the next day after someone wrongs me. This also happened back in 2010. This is amazing. Pretty crazy that you had to do a presentation in front of the whole school in 7th grade. And our last story. Neighbor keeps coming onto my property. After 2 years of politely asking my neighbor A and his family to stop riding their snowmobiles, dirt bikes, and ATVs on my land, I hit my breaking point. I own 10 acres of land out in the country, and while I generally keep to myself and don't bother anyone, these people clearly didn't care about boundaries. Literally. The first time they started using my property as an extension of their off-roading playground, I approached them. Hey, just a heads up, but this is my land you're on. I'd appreciate it if you kept the riding to your property. Neighbor A's response was casual. Oh, sure, no problem. We didn't realize. I should have known that was just the start of a nightmare. They kept coming back, snowmobiles in the winter, quads and dirt bikes in the summer, tearing up my pasture like it was a racetrack. I had a survey done to make sure the boundary lines were clear, but that didn't stop them. So I put up no trespassing signs and even laid out some logs and borders to keep them off. The next thing I knew, my no trespassing signs were gone, ripped out, and my property markers were run over like they didn't exist. The logs? They just drove around them like it was a minor obstacle on their dirt track. That was the final straw. All right, I muttered to myself, standing there staring at the damage they'd done. You want to play games? Let's play. Lucky for me, I have access to some pretty heavy machinery, so one day while they were out, I got to work with a backhoe. No more polite warnings, no more signs they could rip out. I dug a 3-foot wide, 3-foot deep half-circle trench along the part of my property they kept crossing, piling the dirt on my side, creating a steep 6-foot difference in elevation. Imagine a sine wave, a mini dirt moat surrounding my land. Impossible to cross without serious effort. The next day, neighbor A came over looking baffled. He stood at the edge of the trench, scratching his head. What the hell is this? He asked, waving his arms like I'd done something outrageous. Oh, this? I said as I casually walked up, wiping dirt off my hands. This is what happens when you ignore property lines and run over my signs. I got tired of asking. Problem solved. He looked flustered, but you didn't have to go this far, man. I shrugged. You gave me no choice. You ran over my markers, stole my signs, and kept disrespecting my land. Now you can't get through. It's simple. Neighbor A tried to argue, but I wasn't having it. Look, the solution was easy. You stay on your side, I stay on mine. You crossed that line one too many times. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.